Hi, my name is Matt Looney, and this is my presentation on my workstation. This is for a fifth grade math class. Um, Now, what my station would look like, it would either be a round table with some chairs around it, like a typical workstation. That could be a rectangular table with chairs around it. Another thing you could do is mats on the floor, soft mats where the students could get down on their hands and knees or lay down and work with different, manipulatives or with other students on, kinesthetic type of activities. They could even read different literature that deals with math-related subjects, resources such as their textbook or any other textbooks uh, that are available in the classroom. Another way the workstation could look is could be desks in a circle, um, 4 or 5 together, or it could be one or two. Students could be actively engaged in discussions, or they could observe each other discussing different topics of math. They could work in with the worksheets and with when the desks are together like that. Now, all of these, in all of those scenarios there, it would be near resources, such as bookshelves and other available um, hands-on activities or paper, scratch paper, pencils, things like that, just for easy access, and there'd be less clutter, less movement around the classroom. Um, Now, some of the components of the workstation that there'd be lots of manipulatives, such as like Lincoln Logs, or when I was a kid they used to have Connects, things like that, that the students could create and make shapes out of and use their imagination. Another thing would be plenty of worksheets. It could be enrichment worksheets. They could be extra credit. They could be assignments that the students need to do, homework. Tutoring could take place at the workstation. So I mean, things that needed there. Other things would be like measuring tools. You would need rulers and compasses and things like that the students would need to use, protractors, stuff like that. Another thing would be pencils and scratch paper are always a mathematician's best friend. Be able to jot down any, sort of anything you need to remember or work out or do. Those will all be available there. Now, some activities that I could think of that would be present at the workstations would be like group worksheets. Students could there could be specially designed group. Let me go back real quick. Actually, before I say the activities, first of all the activities are student centered, and they include all students. They don't just include ELL or at-risk students. It's for everybody, and everybody's included. And it wouldn't be all learning disabled students at one table. They would all be intermingled. And as I was saying about the group worksheets, they could work together. They could be brain teasers. They're just fun activities that would engage the students in discussion. It would actively involve all of them, and most of all, make them think. Critical thinking, working together on projects. Another activity they could do, which could be standing, they could do this one as a more kinesthetic activity, that an operations game where they hold their hands behind their back, and on the count of three, they get up in pairs, and on the count of three, they bring both hands together, and whoever's the first to add the number on the other person's hand wins. So if I hold up this many, and the person I'm with says 4 before I can add theirs, that would be the activity there. That involves a lot of critical thinking, quick quick thinking, and also the students that aren't playing, that are just watching. It's a good observation tool. They could play along, with themselves, try to guess, before they do. Another kinesthetic thing would be rolling dice, which is good for predicting. dyslexic students, it's hard for them to, always just sit there and stare at a paper for so long. This would be good for them to be able to just to see dots, and to count the dots. That would really help them learn to add and predict with those. And as well as the ELL students, math is a universal language, and it's not. Numbers on a dice are universal. So another thing in an activity would be puzzles. For the visual learners, for the gifted and talented students that want to focus more, who are more detail oriented, girls would be most interested in puzzles. And you can have easier puzzles for the special ed students. One of the final activities that I could think of was having just like the Lincoln Logs or Legos or Play-Doh, something that they can do with their hands, especially for the students who are ADHD. They can really use their hands a lot, and they won't lose focus so easily. And shapes, they can move the shapes around and make different shapes with blocks or things like that. And those can be done on the mat. You can do Play-Doh on the mat, or Legos on the mat, or even Lincoln Logs, things like that. And then even after that, students can glue those things together, like the Legos and the Lincoln Logs. If you have an abundance of them, you know what I mean. And they can show off their work. That's always something that students like to do, no matter what level of thinking or level of ability that they're at. They all like to show off their work. So that'd be something good. Overall, just a workstation is good for every student, as long as it's student centered, and as long as it's monitored well by the teacher, by the instructor. And I hope that when I get a classroom someday, that I could employ those tactics. So, thanks.